You're listening to Tonight WCWP with Mike and Tom. Mike?
Thank you for having me. I was about to say that. It's good to be back. Today was fun. So, Monday, you're not a How I Met Your Mother fan, are you?
No, I'm not.
Did you ever watch it?
I think I saw like one episode, but I never really got into it.
Okay.
I knew it had like a big, I don't want to say cult, but a pretty diverse following.
Yeah, definitely.
The show.
I would say in September 2005, pilot season was beginning. As a youngster, I didn't know what a pilot season was, season was, but I was watching new shows, so I started pilot season. And How I Met Your Mother was one of them. And from the first episode, there was something special. And I used to talk, Paul, obviously. Him and I, for years, would just talk about constant, like, oh, did you see the new episode? And we'd go on. Powell, same thing. We'd go on. And it was a magical show. The writing was terrific. It started off really good, and then it got really emotional, so a lot of people stopped watching.
Yeah.
But even when through the serious moments, they did such a great job keeping it alive. The story was engaging. The characters were lovable. You really wanted to know who the mother was, and she was revealed at the last episode of Season 8, and then you got to meet her in Season 9. And on Monday, March 31st, 2014, they did the series finale. I've ranted so many times in the car. The creators and writers ruined the series. Within 40 minutes, they ruined 9 seasons, and a lot of people are arguing for the show. There was this huge post on Huffington Post, like the 5 arguments and why they're wrong, but we're not wrong because within 40 minutes they ruined the show. And
it's pretty impressive.
I don't want to say
go the extra mile.
I don't want to say I'm disappointed because I'm not disappointed. I'm really ticked off. I'm angry. I'm disappointed is an understatement. And I thought maybe it was just because I was expecting so much, so I rewatched it like 2 more times. No, I was equally as angry each time.
If not even angrier, because now you wasted your time.
Another 80 minutes right there. And they destroyed so many things that were built up in the series. For example, Barney Stinson, played by Neil Patrick Harris. When we see him in Season 1, he's a womanizer who just, we don't know too much about him, and he just wants women, he wants girls, he wants a nice suit, and that is Barney Stinson.
That's a good way to live.
Yeah, definitely. But as the series continues, we see him fall in love with Robin Scherbatsky, who is played by Kobe Smulders, and we see him on an emotional level, which I think was incredible character development. Neil Patrick Harris did an amazing job. And they took that character development. Season 9 is all about their wedding. And on the second to last episode, they finally get married. And then in the last episode, they get divorced. I mean, it's in 3 years. They fast forward 3 years. And they get divorced. And they single-handedly destroy Barney Stinson's character. They destroy any character development done to him. They made him we see him evolve within 9 seasons, and just like that, they get rid of him to try to make a joke, but the humor doesn't play out. It was disgusting what they did to him. They tried doing a redeeming thing, and it was sort of redeeming. In fall 2014, when the new pilots come out, there's a show called How I Met Your Dad by the same people, and in the end, Barney has a kid with someone we don't know known as Number 31. And because he went on a month streak of sleeping with a different woman every day, and he gets Number 31 pregnant. And in the end, if How I Met Your Dad he's the dad in it, then they have done a decent job trying to redeem the piece of garbage, the utter disappointment they did with the finale. And as I said before, he married Robin Scherbatsky and got divorced. And they ruined her, not as much as they did Barney, but they ruined her because she was welcomed into this group of friends in 2005 when she moved to New York. And they welcomed her in, and they loved her. And then they get divorced, and she's never seen again. She doesn't show up to events. They see her every once in a while. They spotting her as this rare thing now because they just never, ever see her. And it's really disappointment. She ends up alone in her apartment with her dogs again, just like in Season 1, until the very end, which I will get to. Spoiler alert if you're going to watch this or if you're listening right now. More spoiler alert. The mother dies. We know her first season. We find out her name 5 minutes before she dies. But she dies, and they tried doing a sad ending like Annie Hall did in 1977 because the show, her character's based off Annie Hall. Annie Hall doesn't die at the end of the movie, but it's the first rom-com to have a depressing ending. So they did base it off Annie Hall, and I'm okay with the mother dying. They didn't do a terrible job off of it. I mean, she died how she lived off screen. It was so there's a joke, and it was Kristen Milioti, who plays the mother, who did a brilliant job. I loved her. She made her such a lovable character. There was a joke online. It was Kristen Milioti as Uterus because they just aborted her, and they did such a poor job.
Like a true sitcom character.
They could have made it work though, but they didn't, and that's because they decided to ruin Ted Mosby, the main character, the person who's supposed to meet the mother. They ruined 9 seasons of character development. Seasons 1 through 9 is him falling in love with Robin Scherbatsky, Neil Patrick Harris' character's ex-wife. And Ted Mosby is like in love with her, and then finally at the end he gives her up and understands. And then at the end, spoiler again, at the end he's like, and kids, that's how I met your mother. And it could have ended there. They could have done a better job at just ending it there. But no, they had to cut to the kids and be like, that's a lie, that's not why you want to tell us the story. You just want to get back with Aunt Robin, and you just want to see if it was okay with us. And it was then that I realized I just wasted 40 minutes of my life. I wanted to cry, and I didn't. It could have been emotional. It should have been emotional.
Just too angry.
I couldn't cry. I couldn't even be sad because I was so angry. I was more angry than that play I saw a couple weeks ago that I ran off about, and I still talk about it. But the same woman who married his best friend, he took 9 seasons, and it was just a ploy to get his kids to say yes. And they knew this because the kids section was filmed back in 2005, so they knew this from step 1 of the show. And first of all, he broke the bro code, which the whole show was about, and they knew that. They knew it, and it just really ticks me off. And I would like to read this excerpt I have online because I couldn't word this any better than they did. You ruined the mother and her story. You turned her death into a minor part, another hurdle Ted had to jump to finally reach Robin. We didn't see any mourning from Ted for the death of his wife. We didn't see their final moments together. We didn't see the funeral. We didn't hear any sadness from her kids. All we heard was, oh, by the way, the mother got sick and died. Let's talk about Robin instead. And it's completely true, and it makes me absolutely sick to realize I wasted 9 years of my life watching this. And I hope it doesn't. I haven't watched any reruns of the older episodes yet, but I really hope it doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth when I go to watch episode 16 of season 4. I don't know what that is. But like, if I go to watch that, am I going to be like, oh, this is a lie? This is a lie. It's all a lie. And it could have ended with Barney and Robin's wedding, the second to last episode. A snippet of Ted seeing the mother playing the bass at the wedding, because that's where he saw her. Cuts to the train station, and it shows the meeting. And maybe if you need to kill her off, she slowly gets sick and eventually dies. And then it's like, in kids, that's how I met your mother, that's the amazing story, this is the memory of her, I'm telling you the story in honor of her memory. But no, you wanted to do a plot twist, which never works anymore. The Usual Suspects, okay, it worked. Fight Club, okay, it worked. Not anymore. I think if you're going to do a plot twist, you have to be good. To the point where M. Night Shyamalan, blah, 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 who's the one-trick pony, he does a better job now. And
Sixth Sense, yo.
But
it's the best plot twist ever.
He did
Bruce Willis is dead the whole time, man.
Spoiler alert.
It's amazing.
He did a good job with that. That is a great movie. But he's known as a one-trick pony because every movie afterwards has a plot twist, and you're like, stop. And I just don't understand it. And to have characters built for 9 seasons through all life changes, to have 9 seasons of character development, characters strongly develop, to become emotional, to become lovable, to truly be, you feel like your best. It's like in Blue is the Warmest Color, the French film that just came out. You're uncomfortable during the sex scenes because she's become your best friend. You know her, she's a good friend of yours, and I mean, I guess it's also weird to see an underage girl do it, but that's not the point. She's a friend of yours. You're close with her. You shouldn't be watching her. It's a personal moment of her. And here you see, you have 9 years of these people becoming your best friends. You fall in love with them, only to end up where they were in season 1, and it really, really ticks me off. And I could read right here. There's no way that any of these characters would end up where they ended up at the end. And it's so disappointing because the finale claims to be about hope, especially with Ted showing happiness after the mother died. He moves on 6 years later. He tries to go back for Aunt Robin. And it's a finale all about hope, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they just totally ripped every viewer hearts out, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, urinated all over it, dug a hole, buried it, had a bear come up, undig it, pick it up, give it to Michael Bay, and Michael Bay made a movie on it without explosions. That's how it felt like. And I admired the writing for so long, for 9 years, up to, I mean, each season had weak episodes. You can't expect, it had like 220-something episodes or 212 episodes or something like that. You can't expect all 200-something episodes to be perfectly written. They have to be weak episodes. One of the best episodes ever, I think, was the 200th episode, which was in Season 9, which is How Your Mother Met Me. It's told completely from the point of view by the mother, and I thought Kristen Milioti did amazing. The writing was terrific.
Should have used that as the season finale.
Yeah, I would have preferred that, probably. The episode before the season finale is what they should have used for the season finale. But you admire the writing because it means so much, and then all of a sudden it's a plot twist which means nothing, and that proves that 9 years of writing meant absolutely nothing to these creators. And now they're doing How I Met Your Dad, and it really makes me nervous because...
What is this, number 31? Like, they couldn't give her a name yet? Are they really
Well,
like that in the dark?
I think that's because they're going to... My guess for How I Met Your Dad is we only know her as number 31 now, and I think...
Is she like a Diclonius from Elfen Lied? Or one of the androids from Dragon Ball Z? What was this?
I think that because we don't know her name, and now it's an entirely new group of people in How I Met Your Dad, they're going to be like, they're going to try to do another plot twist at the end, and they're going to be like, and kids, that's How I Met Your Dad, and it's going to be Barney Stinson, and because we don't know her name, it's number 31. And the main character in How I Met Your Dad is going to turn out to be number 31, but we're not going to know that until the end. If I'm right, that means I know that now, and whoever's listening, or whoever will listen in the future, and you know this now.
I'm privileged.
Throughout the season, they teased what the episodes would be like, or what the characters would be like when they're in old age. And as the episode continued, I lost hope in everything they promised. And I don't want to say it's because I anticipated what they promised, and they didn't want to show, I guess anticipation can set you up for disappointment. But they could have done a better job. Everyone's saying, well, no one's going to be happy. Yes, but no one should be really ticked off right now. Nobody should be personally victimized by this episode.
This is crimes against humanity,
It
man.
is.
This needs to see like trial in front of the United Nations.
You already know I love IT Crowd. I think that show is now the best sitcom. That show is absolutely perfect. And there's an episode where Maurice Moss, played by Richard Ayoade, is he becomes like this manly man. So he's trying to speak like people who watch football. And one of the famous lines from that episode is, "Oi, did you see that ludicrous display last night?" And somebody posted online how I feel about last night's finale. "Oi, did you see that ludicrous display last night?" And it was ludicrous. It was disappointing. And I thought they were all going to end up together, happy, everyone, not just like in a couple, in a relationship. Everyone, even if you wanted to kill the mom off, so take her out. I thought everyone was going to be happy, and I was going to say, because they always were in this booth in a bar, and I thought they were going to be like, this booth is wherever they are together. It's not the booth at the bar. It's when they're together, they're at their booth. And they severely messed that up. And I hope it doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth, as I said before, but as of right now, I'm still bitter over it. I hope they do a better job for How I Met Your Dad. I'm iffy about it. They could slightly redeem it, but not too much. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think I've added my input.
Yeah, I just went off. I apologize.
Down.
But I will calm down eventually. So anyway, thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter at TonightWCWP. We're taking it away now with Arctic Monkeys. We'll be back after. Arctic Monkeys with, I don't know what song.
Fire and the Thud.
Fire and the Thud off their third album, Humbug. So take it away, Tom.